So, the other day, I watched a film that I'd never seen before. Now, those of you that watch my show every day know what film that was. And last night, I decided to watch a sequel for the film that I'd never seen before, which I've also never seen before. And that is Die Hard 2. Die Harder. Huh? Great title. I love it. So, Die Hard 2. Is it as good as the first one? Honestly, I don't know. I think the first one's set and setting, are a lot better. I think the characters in the first one are a lot better. But also Bruce Willis, very good in both of them. Very good. And the second movie has a lot more death and destruction. There's exploding planes. There's a lot more gory messes, right? People so the violence in Die Hard 2, honestly, I think the violence is better. But I think the pacing in Die Hard 1 is a little bit more entertaining, given the fact that, it's more of a constrained setting. And the characters are kind of stuck there. There's hostages and But anyway, Die Hard 2, I thought it was very fun. I enjoyed watching it. This is usually sequels are not as good as the original. But in this case, the sequel I think is as good as the original. Both of them are good. The settings are different, but really, the main parts, it's really good. And I love how Die Hard 2 also takes place during Christmas. I think that's really funny because Bruce Willis's character, John McClane, constantly says, how come this keeps happening on Christmas? And it's just making... One of the things I love about this movie is that there's so many references to the first movie, right? Because it's it takes place at Christmas again. Oh, why am I the only one who's doing anything? And why are the cops always so shitty? And I thought that was really funny. I love movies that reference earlier movies in the franchise and the series. And I thought that this movie was very fun. The violence was super good. The icicle in the eyeball, damn. I was freaking out when that happened. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker's about to get stabbed. This motherfucker being John McClane, aka Bruce Willis. He's about to get stabbed by a motherfucker. And then what does he do? He grabs a motherfucking icicle and smashes it in that motherfucker's eyeball. That was crazy. That was insane. That was crazy. Wow. And one thing, again, I love about the Die Hard movies is, so far, 1 and 2, I haven't seen the rest, is that the cops, every cop in the movie sucks, except for Bruce Willis is the only good cop. But all the other cops are arrogant, full of themselves, jackasses, too little, too late, don't listen to anybody, they're just a bunch of prick motherfuckers. But also, I loved in this movie, there's advancing stories, right? Bruce Willis, I guess, joined the Los Angeles Police Department over the course of the events from the first and second movie. He calls up his friend from the first movie on the phone to get some fingerprint scans. So I like the bringing back of characters from the first movie. I thought that was pretty good. I think this is a really good sequel. For me, my opinion, I think sequels are really hard to get right. There's a lot of sequels that just they don't need to exist and they know they don't need to exist, so they just kind of fuck around. This one doesn't need to exist, not really. But it's good. It's really good. Again, I love the exploding planes. There's 2 planes that explode. One of them was full of the evil people, and then the other one was full of villains. The villains, the evil people. Of course, I'm referencing people from the England. They were in the plane that exploded, and they're evil, of course. And so. But yeah, so the main plot was basically the terrorists take control of an airport, and they threaten to blow up planes if they can't get a fascist dictator freed from something. I don't know, there's something to do with the war on drugs and cocaine, some stupid fucking shit. Anyway, so then they just blow up random planes. Well, at least they say they're going to. They only really end up blowing one fucking plane. Actually, yeah, they blow up one fucking plane. And that's the plane full of the British people, people. And so one of the things I like about this movie is, spoiler alert, one of the special ops, SWAT guys or whatever, is actually a bad guy. He's purposefully derailing the police response on purpose. And turns out that he's a bad guy. I thought that was cool. I didn't see that coming. And so anyway, I just thought that this movie was super enjoyable. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was almost as entertaining as the first one, and it excelled in certain other ways, like the exploding planes. That was super cool. Like, and they reuse a lot of themes, like running through vents. And there's a lot of similar thematic structure. But I love that. I love self-referential stuff in movie franchises and stuff like this. It's super good. I enjoyed watching it. Die Hard 2. I mean, it's one of those movies that it's like you just watch the fucking movie. I mean, it's hard to review a movie like this. It's just like such a visual experience. Like I can say, oh, they shot the guns and then they had the snowmobile, but you don't, it doesn't fucking matter if I describe it. You just gotta watch the goddamn movie. Anyway, exploding planes, icicles in the eyeballs, airport. You wouldn't be able to set a fucking action movie like this with terrorists at an airport anymore. Like, I don't, maybe you can. I don't know. But 9/11 kind of fucked that up. And so you got shit fuck motherfuck cops. Everyone hates cops. They're all shit fuckers. And then Bruce Willis is just funny. I love how he talks to himself in the first movie and in this movie. Oh yeah, that's a good point. There was very, very interesting scenes at the start of the film with some naked male nudity, folks. We had some very interestingly sculpted buttocks available for viewing at the very close to the beginning of the film. And really, from that point onward, I was pretty much, all right, this is going to be a good movie. I mean, check, right? Like, we're already in, like, it's already a good movie. Anyway, I don't know. Good movie. Blowing up planes. That's always fun. Fighting on the wings of an airplane. It's just, blowing shit up. It's just cool. There's lots of fire, lots of explosions, lots of dead motherfuckers, lots of shooting, lots of violence, and, I love when Bruce Willis says yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, at the end. I think that's funny. And it's good. It's just a good movie. I recommend it. I'm not really that into action movies, but these, so far, Die Hard 1 and 2, not bad. And I'd recommend them to anyone that's remotely interested. So there you go. That's it. Pretty good. All right.